Tulsa is now 22-2 and 10-11-2 in the conference after their run-and-gun win over the Shockers of Wichita today, unless you needed an adding machine in that one.
That was some game to watch. I only saw the first half, but they scored enough points in the first half to take care of a whole game.
By the way, here goes the starting lineups, and Hank Cornley comes out first for the Redbirds. He is a senior, 6'7", 225, and 16 points a game. Now we're going to take a look for Bradley at Boise Winters. Boise looks to be running all right. 6'8" junior, Chicago Gage Park, averaging 16 a game. Now we go back to Illinois State. Number 43, 6'8", 220, and a junior, Lou Stefanovic. He's from Merrillville, Indiana, averaging 10.8. Beef, a lot of strength up front. Here's Booker Johnson for Bradley, 6'5", senior, Memphis, Tennessee, averaging 9.2. Bradley is 13-9, 5-6 in the league. Well, the Redbirds, 6'8", 215, senior, 45, Mark Zwart from Monona, Wisconsin, going in at 7.5 points a game. Here comes Anthony Webster, coming off the leading rebounder and leading scorer in the Bradley game at Wichita. Webster, a junior center out of Cairo, Illinois. Out of Gary, Indiana, comes a 6'1" junior, Michael McKenney, number 10. He averages 9.1. Number 15, Jimmy Leff, 5'11", sophomore, Niles, Notre Dame, averaging 6 points and 8 assists a game. Now for the Redbirds, Mr. Excitement, 24, 6'5", 185, Ricky Johnson from Indianapolis, averaging nearly 15 for Bradley, Pat Marshall. Marshall, 6'6", senior, Shelbyville, Kentucky, averaging 5.4. The stage is set as Dick Versace and Bob Donewall are set to meet again, and we'll be back with a tip-off right after this. As Bradley leads the series between these two teams in 50 games, Bradley has won 28. Illinois State 22, but the Redbirds have won the last 4 or less. Here's the tip, and it goes to the men in red, the Redbirds of Illinois State. Bradley in the home white. First time they've met this year, these two teams.
We're seeing Bradley set up in a quick 1-1-3. They're going to try and cut off ISU's perimeter shooting.
ISU will have the advantage in bulk and weight and strength. And McKinney knocks one down.
This is a much different ISU team than we're used to, and we'll explain why in a little while.
This is an ISU team that shoots 51% from the field and holds its opponents to 41. Here's a steal by the Redbirds, and they're heading right here. And Stefanovic stepped out of bounds with the ball. It goes to Bradley right in front of us.
One of the reasons they're different is they do have tremendous perimeter shooting, and they're putting it up from out there much more than Bob Donewall teams are used to. They're usually a punch the ball inside type of team.
Left goes to Booker Johnson on the left, and look at this defense by the Redbirds. It's man-to-man, and it is a sink. Look at them deny the pass if they can. Booker Johnson's outside. Bradley's content to get a good shot if they can. Here's the ball tapped away by McKinney.
Hey, you want to hear tough defense, man-to-man, how well Bob Donewall has these kids working? They are near the top in the NCAA team leaders for allowing or disallowing field goals. 41% the opponents shoot against them.
The opponents average 62 a game, but the Redbirds average 75.5. Bradley on the move. Booker Johnson the shot. It's around and out. And Hank Cornley horses the board. On the right, it goes to McKinney. Illinois State has the ball in the lead. 2-0. Cornley got hung up in the air and got rid of it. The drum beat in the background. As the fans wanting Bradley to score, McKinney tries for 2 in a row. Who's got the ball? Stefanovic.
That ball hit the top of the backboard. It should have been called out of bounds.
Stefanovic turns to Mark Zwart along the baseline for a pop. And Boise Winters rebound.
Yeah, that ankle looks okay. He got up pretty well on that one.
Near steal by Ricky Johnson, and he's good at that, and he usually turns those into sizzling slam dunks. Bradley playing a bit slower than Illinois State. Marshall Johnson on the scoop. Look at the Redbirds move. Cornley to the goal. Charging foul on Johnson, and Jim Les spotted it coming and got him. There's Jim getting up a little slowly. That had very little to do with what was going on underneath the basket. We missed the charge on this replay, but it doesn't matter whether Hank Cornley made it or not. The ball's going the other way. Well, there's some players out here for the Redbirds that you wouldn't want to take a charge against. Hank Cornley is one of them.
He certainly is. Don't let that bandage on his thigh fool you either. That's just on there for precautionary measures the rest of the year. He missed a good portion of the season, the Missouri Valley season so far, with a bad thigh bruise, but he's okay now.
He's a great player, and he's got a body you could use to chop wood. Look how strong he is.
He's a definite pro prospect.
Winters outside. Bradley hasn't scored yet. Les tries. It's bouncing. Look at the battle of the boards. The Redbirds have it on the run. Johnson comes foul line. Cornley, baseline. Cornley missed and Bradley rebounds. 17:08. First half just started. The Braves trying to shake one in the hoop. Illinois State's got the first and only basket. Jim Les is alone, didn't take it. Crowd's going to shoot.
And I'm sure the coaching staff did too. It's one of the things they're trying to get him to do. We've mentioned it before.
Anthony Webster does. Rattled out. Right in the middle, and it jumped out of there. So Bradley has had a couple free shots. None go down.
We've had almost 3.5 minutes go by, and there's only 2 points in the game.
Ricky Johnson moves off the glass.
Make that 4 points. All ISU.
A brilliant move by an exciting player, Ricky Johnson. 4-0 Redbirds. Booker Johnson on the right wing. Bradley runs a 1-4 offense now. And the Braves,
actually, it's a different type of offense we've seen from them. Looks like they're trying to get the ball down low to either Anthony or Boise.
They're not guarding Jimmy Les from 15 feet. He's going to have to prove to Illinois State he can shoot it from there. The Redbirds are playing man-to-man but sinking on Boise Winters. And they're not guarding left on the perimeter. Bounce pass Winters goes out of his hands, out of bounds to Bradley.
We've never seen Bradley run this type of offense before. It is different.
Now there's a whistle. There's a timeout on the court. Illinois State 4.
Bradley 0. This Bradley basketball telecast is protected by broadcast rights granted by Bradley University and Missouri Valley Conference. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use without the express written consent of TV 25 and Bradley University is prohibited.
The Bradley Braves, who are 0 for 4 shooting from the field, have the ball. Illinois State, 2 for 5 is ahead. Left for the goal. He missed a layup. Kept in. Pat Marshall. Bradley gets its first 2. And they're in a zone 2-3. The Redbirds never beat themselves. Ricky Johnson on a stop and pop, and he drilled it.
Ricky went tumbling looking for the defensive call. He'll take the 2 points anyway.
15-19 to play. Jim Les says triangles. Bradley goes to a control offense. Boise Winters is down low and on the post against Zwart. Wants the ball. Got it. Shoots, and he's fouled. Boise really wanted the ball left.
There's some words being exchanged between Pat Marshall and Lou Stefanovic.
Let's face it, this is a very intense rivalry. It's a physical game out there.
Let's see if we can see why Pat and Lou are yelling at each other here. Boise goes up. Mark Zwart's going to hammer him. Underneath Lou Stefanovic, you can see he started to push Pat Marshall out of the block with his behind, and Lou didn't take too well to that.
Boise Winters hits the free throw at 6-3, Illinois State. Winters makes a pair. Redbirds by 2 in the ball. Fair number of Illinois State fans came to the game tonight, and they're making their presence heard. Of course, the crowd predominantly Bradley. Johnson blocked by Webster. Bradley runs. The up-tempo game now. It's Webster to Winters. And Mark Zwart. He's a lot stronger than he used to be, Les.
Oh, and he's getting more involved in the offense, scoring 8 points a game. He wasn't close to that last year. He's a senior. He's a captain. He's taking on more responsibility. He's aggressive. Here's